Hello, my name is Jesus. I'm doing a book review of this book called Just Need Encouragement and Love, Just Need Encouragement and Love, Words of Wisdom and Warm Hugs. So this book was written by the author. His name is Jonathan Neal. As you can see, I also have a shirt that says Just Need Encouragement and Love by Jonathan Neal. Now, how I met this young man was that he was next to the college that I go to, and he heard me speak to another young man, and he was interested in what I was speaking to him. And so we both were talking about it. And then he said that he has a book and it's called Just Need Encouragement and Love. Now, Just Need Encouragement and Love, if I could give a book summary, book review, is just a collection of some short poems that will give the common man some motivation to go on with his life and to not really end it. At least that's what I got from it. This gives you a little taste of what it is to actually think as a human. One of the poems that I like is You Are an Inspiration. And so I'm going to read this poem because this is actually his signature poem. In the back here of my shirt, it's the poem there. So let me read it. You are an inspiration to many people. Many people admire you. These people may never say you are an inspiration, but they secretly try to imitate you in many ways. There are people who had never had a conversation with you, but they are observing you. They are copying your positive traits. As you live a life true to yourself, not seeking validation from society, many will tease you. Realize that even though they tease you, they secretly admire the fact that you are bold enough to be yourself. Continue being positive. Continue being the best you can be. By doing this, you will influence others and help make the world just a little bit better. Think about this and consider. So I like this poem, even though I don't agree with the first line because I don't really think I'm an inspiration to many people. But to keep it on the positive side, it does say, as you live a life true to yourself, not seeking validation from society, many will tease you. And so I feel like that's a good message. We should live life not seeking validation from others, not seeking validation from society. That's actually a good message. And I like the end sentence. He says, by doing this, you influence others and help make the world just a little bit better. So in the grand scale of things, you'll basically leave the world a better place than how you found it. And that's something that I can really get behind. Now, he has other poems called Why Is There a Conspiracy Against Left-Handed People? That basically talks about we're all born unique. Another poem called What is a Prince? Basically saying that we are the princes. And the answer is in you. We are the answer. We are the princes. Another one is Do You Know Who You Are? And basically knowing who you are. He goes into what is a superhero. He goes into jealousy. He goes into what is a good person. He has a poem called We Only Following Intimidating Authority Figures. Good poem, but another poem that I really like was Connect to the Source. Now he talks about the source of the universe and basically that in life we have to make an effort to bond with that source of the universe, to like drink from the cosmos. And so I kind of had to ask him, what does this mean, Jonathan? Because when he gave me the book, he actually signed it. He actually has a signature right here. And that's pretty cool. I actually had to ask him, what does that really mean, drink from the cosmos? And he kind of said that you can do it in multiple ways. You could do it by praying. You could do it in nature. You can even do it having a conversation with somebody. And if there is a almighty God, which I don't think there's a personal deity, but I do believe the things that he says in this book. If that can be called a source, then, it's whatever. But maybe he's just a human trying to make sense of it all in his conscience. Maybe it doesn't really matter. Now, the next one is, what is the glory of God? And I like this. I really like this poem because he talks about how the word glory in Hebrew, it refers to something that is heavy. And the word glory can mean heavy in terms of weapon of war. I'm reading from his book. The word glory can mean heavy in terms of a presence that can be felt. The word glory can mean heavy in terms of importance. It can mean heavy in honor and respect. But then he focuses on basically the glory means, he focuses on a use of the word that means liver. That glory can refer to the liver, at least in the Bible, and how it's used in the Bible in the Hebrew. And then he goes on to say that the liver is the only organ in the body that can regenerate itself. But once it generates itself, it never looks the same before, and it takes on a different form and a different shape. And then he goes on to speak about in our personal lives, we talk about our glory days. And he's saying that that the prayers that we asked for God already answered it, but we didn't recognize it because they took on a different texture or a different shape. And basically, he just talks about how the glory of God or the heaviness of God or the manifestation of it, it kind of came in a different way, in a different texture, and you kind of weren't looking for it, but it was already here, so to speak. Then he says we must develop an active prayer life, do the best we can to allow ourselves to be guided by the Spirit, keep our eyes open to the heaviness of God working in our lives, and keep our eyes open to our glory returning. So yeah. And then he goes in 7 minutes already. Yeah, I was going to keep this short, under 10 minutes. Another poem called Our Intuition. And he says the same thing. Let's keep an active prayer life and connect with the source, which is basically being guided by the Spirit. The source is the same thing. That's how I take it. And that's the book. Of course, I already mentioned all the other poems, but those are the poems that I really found interesting. They really spoke to me. Basically, you are an inspiration, the source of the universe, what is the glory of God, and our intuition. And what I can take from this book in practical terms is what he says. It's basically, let yourself be guided, like how he says, the source of the universe within you, or your intuition. The stars are our parents. But anyways, the practicality of it is to develop an active prayer life, is to always be guided by the source, which is your own intuition inside. And yeah, good book. And I can't wait for a second edition.